Hi everyone. In today's video, we'll dive into transaction control transformation in Informatica IDMC, which is a powerful feature to control transactions dynamically during data integration. So what is transaction control transformation? So transaction control transformation is an active transformation used to define commit or rollback points dynamically during the ETL process, right? So it allows us to handle data transactions flexibly, like, committing rows in batches and rolling back data based on some specific conditions, right? So it's especially useful in scenarios where business logic requires conditional control over database transactions, right? Imagine you are working with an e-commerce company, right? And you are tasked with processing the order data, which looks something like this, right? So let's suppose this is your order data, order ID, customer ID, and order amount, order status, right? So now the business rules specify, for example, say for example, like commit all orders that belong to completed or shipped order status and rollback records where the status is pending or cancelled, right? So to ensure they are sent to the warehouse prematurely, right? So this is what we wanted to achieve in this case, right? We wanted to process the order data and we wanted to commit all records. So this will be the order data. From the order data, we wanted to commit, the records that belong to completed or shipped status. And we wanted to roll back the records where the status is pending or cancelled, right? So this is what we wanted to achieve. Why we wanted to do this is to ensure the database or the target where we are writing, right? So is updated only with the valid rows, right? While the invalid rows can be handled appropriately, right? So how do we achieve this? So we can achieve this using transaction control transformation. So let's see how to do that now. So log in into your Informatica IDMC and select data integration service here. Create a new mapping. So then, we should be configuring the source. So my source here will be order data, which is a flat file, which is stored on my secure agent machine. So it's called order data. Here it is. You can optionally preview the data. So this will be our source. And now, so you can see here, right? So it has the order status of different categories: completed, pending, shipped, cancelled, like that, right? And we wanted to commit only completed or shipped order status. And we wanted to roll back pending and cancelled order status, right? So let's do that now. So we wanted to achieve this using transaction control transformation, right? So here it is. So select transaction control transformation. Here are the incoming fields from the source. And you can see the transaction control window here. So, and you can read this information, which is on the top. Your data needs to be sorted by the fields used to control the transaction. So whatever field we are going to use to control the transaction, that has to be sorted, is what it says. If the data is not already sorted, then we can add the sorted transformation before the transaction. So that's what the information says. So the field has to be sorted on which we wanted to control the transaction. And if you see transaction control condition here, so if field value changes, say for example, we wanted to commit or we wanted to manage the transactions based on the order type, for example. So if it is sorted, right? So the advantage we get is say all the if based on the order type, so we can actually commit or take a particular action. So maybe say for example order type. Say for example this could be order status or order type, right? So based on that we could actually select the actions here, right? So in our case, to achieve our case, so we'll select the advanced as a transaction control condition, and we need a condition here, right? So we get the if condition here. So here we'll configure the condition. What the condition? Order status. If our order status is equal to, say for example, I wanted to roll, I'll write it the condition on, rollback. So if my order status is equal to pending or if it is cancelled. So this will be my expression. So this will be my condition. It could be pending or cancelled. So in this case, I wanted to roll back the transaction, right? So make sure the value is case sensitive, right? And then, so this is the condition. So if this is true, right? If this is true, what we wanted to do? We wanted to actually, you know, roll back after. So we wanted to take some action, right? So roll back after. Else in the sense it is not pending, neither pending nor cancelled. So it should be either completed or shipped. So we can commit after. So what is rollback after and what is commit after? So we can read the documentation here. So we do have uh, you can see 5 actions, right? Continue transaction and the other 4. So we can read the documentation on that. Continue transaction is just to perform any transaction change for this row. It does not perform any transaction change, right? And we can see commit after and roll back after. So commit after is it writes the current row to the target and commits the transaction and then begins a new transaction. So which means that the current row is in the committed transaction already, right? That's the reason we use the commit after. And rollback after is also same. It just rollbacks the current row. See, data integration writes the current row to the target and then rolls back the transaction, right? So the current row will be in the rollback transaction, which is what we wanted, right? So this is the reason we use these actions committed after and rollback after, right? So you can go through the documentation and use the particular action according to our requirement. So in this case, we use rollback after and commit after. So when the order status is pending or cancelled, right? We wanted to roll back the transaction. Else we can commit the transaction. So that's all about it, right? Now we wanted to write this to a target. So all the incoming fields coming from the source and the target, I wanted this to be written into an Oracle database, and we'll create a new table dynamically and we'll write the data into it. We'll create a new table. We'll call it as committed orders. All right. So it is not present. You can see here. So what we can do is we can create a new one, committed orders. Will be a new table, new target, right? So this is a new target. So we will not be able to map the fields. All right. So let's validate the mapping. So it says mapping is valid. All right. We can save the mapping now and we can run it. So what did we do here? We just imported our source, which is a flat file, and then we wanted to commit and roll back the transaction based on some condition. So that's what we specified using the transaction control transformation. And then we wanted to write the result into the target, right? That's what we did. Now let's run the mapping. So just make sure you select the right runtime environment, that is your secure agent, and also make sure your secure agent is up and running. All the services in your secure agent are up and running, right? That's it. Just run the mapping job. You can track the status in My Jobs. It will just take a few seconds to complete the job. Yeah. So you can see rows processed 4. So open the job log. You can see here. So the job details, source has 8 success rows. 8 success rows has been read from the source, and target, so 4 success rows and 4 affected rows. So only 4 rows has been brought into the target. And we can go to the Oracle database and check it, right? So you can see the order status only completed and shipped has been written into the target, right? These were the only records which has been committed into the target, right? So according to the condition which we define in the transaction control transformation, right? So like this, we can actually control the records which based on the condition, and we can actually manage the transactions, right? So as another example, we can take banking example, right, where we can commit the transaction only if available balance is greater than or equal to withdrawal amount. So if someone is withdrawing the amount from an account, right, bank account, their account, and so when do we wanted to commit the transaction? It's only if the available balance is greater than or equal to the withdrawal amount, right? Or else we'll just roll back the transaction. So that could be considered as another example, right? So now you may have a question, why can't I use filter, right? For this case, which we discussed. So why can't I use the filter transformation and achieve the same output, right? So yes, you can use the filter transformation in this case and achieve the same output. But remember, if your goal is just to filter rows based on conditions, then go for filter transformation. But if you need to manage complex transaction logic, like, conditional commits, rollbacks, or partial processing, right? So then the transaction control transformation is the right tool, right? So transaction control transformation is an excellent tool for handling complex transaction logic dynamically. So that's it for today's tutorial. So if you have any questions or want to see more examples, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more IDMC tutorials. See you in the next video.